morning show. Hey, it is about that time. Quarantine cooking. My man, Chef Irie. What up, man?
Morning to you and the Rickey Smiley morning crew.
Hey, hey, Brett, when I tell you this one of the best in the business, man, listen, got South Florida on lock. Chef Irie, what you cooking today, man?
What's up? So today we are channeling the ancestors of NOLA and the Maroons from Jamaica. We are doing a jerk fried oyster po' boy.
Ooh.
A jerk fried oyster po' boy.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Never heard of it. Oh, wow.
Never heard of it.
I love it, though.
Never heard of it because I'm the one doing it.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Wow. So how you put that together, man?
So we're going to get right into it. We're going to break it down real quickly for you. So oysters, you don't have to worry about getting fresh oysters to shuck them. These days, you can get oysters already shucked in small containers in the seafood department in most of your supermarkets. So you're going to get your oysters, bring them home. You're going to, dump them out in a pan, bowl, and you're going to put jerk seasoning on them, maybe add a little Worcestershire, maybe a tad bit of salt, and, some other spices, garlic powder if you need to. And you're also going to get buttermilk and an egg, and you're going to let this jerk seasoning oysters sit for about an hour, then add the buttermilk to that, and let that sit for a few hours or overnight. And then you're going to take them out the marinade, and you're going to get your dredge together. You're going to get your cornmeal and a little flour, or you can do just the cornmeal by itself. Season that up, your paprika, a little bit of coriander, cumin, garlic powder. Make it happy. Make it nice.
Right.
Yes. And then you're going to get your oil, 350 degrees. You're going to dredge your oysters in the flour and cornmeal mix. You're going to fry them up nicely, golden brown and crispy, Rickey. They're going to be nice.
Eva, I bet you can't do it. I bet you can't do it, Eva. I bet you can't do it.
I bet you I'm going to try.
I dare you to Eva, I dare you to make a video.
Listen, he Irie with me. I'm going to try. Definitely going to try. I'm not saying it's going to come out perfect, but I'm going to jerk me an oyster.
It is. You do it and you let me know how it come out. And now you're going to get your hoagie roll nice and soft.
Yeah.
And we're going to put a little aioli on these breads. Okay. And this is a tamarind aioli. And aioli is just a mayonnaise with garlic added to it. Now we're going to add it, kick it up a notch. And we're going to add tamarind to this aioli. So tamarind paste, make it in the blender. Make it nice and smooth and creamy. You're going to lather that hoagie bread, and now you're going to put your lettuce, your tomatoes. I'm not a big pickle fan, but if you want to add pickles to that, that's fine, and then you're going to put your oysters down, and then you're going to drizzle the oysters with some of that aioli. And guess what, Rickey? You got one of the tastiest fried oyster po' boy sandwich.
Yes, and Chef Irie, how can we find that recipe?
You can find this recipe
video
at all the Rickey Smiley official pages. You can find it on my website soon. So we're doing a little work on the website, chefirie.com. You can find me on IG. Yes, Chef Irie. I am Chef Irie on IG. Chef Irie Spice on Facebook. And please don't forget, buy my book on Amazon. It's called Taste the Islands, Culinary Adventures in a Caribbean Kitchen. Yes.
Yeah. All right, man. We appreciate you, man. Hey, y'all give it up for Chef Irie.
Yes, Chef Irie. Alien.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Chef Irie here again, and welcome to another Food and Fire experience. And we're going to be cutting it up and frying it up today. And we're going to make sure that it's going to be lovely and tasty and delicious. So what am I making today? I am making jerk fried oysters po' boy. Yes, we are channeling our NOLA ancestors and my maroon compadres from Jamaica. Yes, baby. So a little bit about me. So, I'm island Jamaican. And I'm here in South Florida, private chef, caterer. So, you know, you got something to do for food, hit me up, man. Hit your boy up. You know, I am Chef Irie. Yes, on Instagram. Hit me up, DM me. So, oysters. Everybody, you know, says you should have fresh shucked oysters. But in the essence of time, because a lot of people don't have that kind of time and a lot of people don't know how to shuck oysters. So you can get your oysters already shucked. This is a 16-ounce container. And these oysters are from Washington State. Yes, sir. They're up there in the Northwest. So very good, very big, very plump they are. And so you can get different types of oysters, different size that would come in containers, you know, like this. Usually it's about a pound per container. So, oysters, the po' boy. Ingredients, we got a bunch of stuff, all right? So we have our oysters that we marinated. We started to marinate them, and we had to, because this is like a two-step process. So we got oysters that we from the container in the pan here, jerk seasoning, and we added some extra stuff. I got a little house blend seasoning that I'm working on here. So you know, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, etc., etc., etc. And I added some fresh thyme and buttermilk with the egg. All right. So once you've added the jerk seasoning to the oysters and the rest of the spices, let it sit for about an hour, and then add the buttermilk egg mixture. Just sort of toss it around a little bit, plastic wrap it, put it in the fridge for several hours or overnight. Overnight is probably better. And then you're going to come next day, and we're going to fry these up in a cornmeal flour dredge. Or you can just use cornmeal. You know, either one is fine. And of course, just like you are doing any other fried dish, fried chicken, catfish, what have you, you want to make sure that this dredge is seasoned as well. So we're going to add a little bit of the house seasoning blend to that. And we're going to add a little Old Bay. Yes, Old Bay, not too much. And then we're just going to mix this around. All right, good. So that's the dredge, oysters in the marinade, and we're going to serve that with the, you know, in the hoagie with its usual accompaniments. We got tomatoes, cucumber, red onion, and we got some lettuce, not iceberg lettuce today. I chose to use some spring mix today, just to give it, you know, nice little classiness, I guess, if you would. And I'm not serving this with a remoulade. So, and people are like, okay, your po' boy, why doesn't it have a remoulade sauce? Well, we'll have a mayonnaise base sauce, just not a remoulade. So we're going to be serving that with a tamarind, spicy tamarind aioli. All right. Tamarind. Most people might not know what it is. Well, this is what a tamarind looks like. It's a fruit in a nice hard shell, and when it's ripe on the vine on the tree, the shell gets brittle, and you can crack the shell, just like, see, crack the shell, and you will pull the sort of meaty, pulpy fruit out of its fragile shell. And you can eat this just like this, yeah? Just like that, all right? So, depending on the type of tree, time of year, it can be sweeter, but tangy. Sometimes it's more tangy than it's sweet. And where do we have it now? So, this is boiled down to a concentrate, so you get tamarind concentrate. And because I bought a whole box of tamarind just to show you, Now I'm going to find something else to do with this tamarind. And because I'm Jamaican, I might just make some tamarind balls. So, there you go. But before I do anything else, salute. Yes, have a drink while we do this oyster po' boy. Let's get to it. All right. So, what we're going to do, we're going to put some gloves on real quick. Because, you know, we need that. And we're going to get this going. And what we're going to do is we're going to check our oil first. Make sure it's right, you know, it's where it's supposed to be. And what we got? 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 I might have to crack this back on just a little bit. Yeah. It was a little too hot earlier, so I had to turn the heat down. So we're gonna turn it back on. Then turn it down. Alright. So we're going to add our oysters to our dredge. As you see my big face in the camera. So this is the size of the oysters that we're working with today. So these are nice and fat and plump. Yes. And we're going to add them straight from the buttermilk marinade right into the cornmeal dredge. I'm going to do like 2 at a time. Right? So just toss them around, get them nicely coated, pat them down if you have to, just to make sure that cornmeal dredge, ooh, I almost burned myself, boy, so that the cornmeal sticks to the oysters. All right. Can you imagine I burn myself right now? All right, here we go. So this is what you have, all right? So the cornmeal is sticking to it. Pat them down. And we're just gonna add these straight into the oil. Oh yeah. All right. Just lay them down gently. We're gonna add one more. I'm gonna show you, you know, something that you should do when you're frying anything, especially if you're deep frying anything. You don't want to drop anything in the fryer. You want to lay it in gently. And we're going to go just like so. And you want to lay it away from you. So in and away from you. Nice and easy. So we're just going to add the rest of these oysters in the cornmeal. All right. That's good. And then we're going to add this, put this in the sink. Now you want to make sure that you have your plate with your paper towel ready to go, because this is going to cook very quickly. All right, it's not going to take very long. Nice. Let's wash my hands here real quick, just so I can move my plate over. So because we're frying and, you know, deep frying it, you want to make sure you have one of these. These are very, very efficient of scooping out of the hot oil. Yes, you can use a tongue, but the good thing about this, it just catches, you know, more than just taking out one piece at a time, and it starts to drain the oil off immediately as you take it out of the hot oil. Yeah. So these, all I'm looking for is nice and golden brown, and then once we get to that, we're going to put them on the paper towel. All right. So our aioli, I have here about 4 or so tablespoons of mayonnaise, prepared mayonnaise, i.e. store-bought. Yes, store-bought. And we're going to add some garlic, some chopped garlic to this. Looking good, Hubert. Chef Irie. And we have our tamarind sauce, if you would. We're going to add that to the mayonnaise. And I'm going to add a little extra oil. Alright. Give me 1 second. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Nice and golden brown. Not chocolate brown. Let me say just a little bit, maybe 1 more minute. Just to get that extra crispy on it. Alright. So while we're getting our extra crispy, we have our mayonnaise, tamarind, garlic. And I did say this was spicy, didn't I? So, we're going to add a little piece of scotch bonnet. Just a little piece. Because it was a spicy tamarind aioli, right? Alright, so we're just going to add, we're going to use like half of that. So I don't want to, kill anybody. I certainly don't want to kill me. Alright. Alright, these 3 pieces are good. And so that's what you're looking for, nice and golden brown. Alright, put that on the paper towel. Let's let them drain off. Alright. And we're just going to get the rest of the oysters, whatever is left, in a pan. So I have enough oysters here to make at least 2 po' boys. Depending on how greedy you are. Oh man. Alright. So while those cook, we're going to blend this up. Okay, we're not quite done yet. So we're going to add some honey. Yeah. So the tamarind that I bought, sometimes they usually sweeten it with a little sugar. This one didn't. So it's just pure, straight up tangy. And I want to balance the jerk with a little sweetness of this in the aioli. Nice. Alright. I'm going to finish this up. So what we're looking for is a nice creamy texture. And we're going to taste this and see what we come up with. Alright, let's go. Ooh, hey. One more component. A little citrus. Seafood, citrus, lemon, lime. We're going to add a little lime. About half juice. Juice of half a lime. Yes. And then we're just going to finish it up. You're looking for nice and creamy. Alright? Nice and creamy. And these oysters are done. So, the piece of equipment you just saw me use, I'm going to hold it up in a second. Just so you know what you need to have in your house. And I'm going to give you a couple quick tips before we finish up this dish. And we're going to turn the stove off. Boom. And we have, actually I have another component that I need to add to this aioli. Forgot, it's sitting right there and I forgot. It's sweet chili. Garlic sweet chili. Now if you're looking for tamarind, so your garlic sweet chili. Your garlic sweet chili, your tamarind. you can find in pretty much most Asian stores. All right, Asian markets. So the garlic sweet chili, let's add a little more sweetness and just a little because it's not extra spicy. All right, I'll taste that one more time. That's perfecto. This is called an immersion blender, right? And it's very handy in the kitchen, especially when you don't want to use your blender and you want to say this was a pot of soup and you really wanted to get this blended, a pureed soup. So instead of transferring this to the blender, making a big mess, maybe splash over you and burn yourself, you would get one of these, stick it in the soup to the bottom, turn it on, boom, puree the soup, take it out, wash it off, good to go. So, and they're not overly expensive. Usually between $20 and $30, depending on the manufacturer. All right. So guess what? We are now ready to make our po' boy. So, hoagie bread, nice and soft. Okay. This is about 8 inches. And yes, I could cut this with a straight edge knife, but I find it's even better to use a serrated knife. Nice sharp one. All right? Which side are we going to go on? Let's go. Any side really doesn't matter. So you get a nice smooth cut. And the good thing about the serrated edge knife, it doesn't compress the bread in when you're cutting it. All right? So spread that out. We got our aioli. And we're going to slather the aioli on both sides of this bread. Because, you want to make it nice and happy. Come on ahead and get happy. Chase all your blues away. Yes. All right. Nice. Good. So we're going to add some tomatoes. Yes. I did say I'm going to take this before I burn myself. That wouldn't be too fun. We're going to add some cucumbers. Yes. This is going to be so good. And one of the things that, I forgot to tell you, when you take the oysters out of the heat, they're still hot right now, you want to dust them with a little extra seasoning, just so they stay happy. And we're going to add our mixed greens right on top of that. Just like that. Just like that. All right. So I remember when I was in NOLA, this was one of the sandwiches that I fell in love with. Awesome. Crispiness. I think it was that, oysters po' boy. The taste of that remoulade, Cajun seasoning. It was just awesome. All right. So, sandwich is made. And now, we're going to add a little more aioli on the oysters. And you just want to just right over the top like that. Hold up. Yeah. That's what it's starting to look like. Yep. So, we're going to put this on a plate. And guess what? I'm not even going to cut it. I'm going to leave it just like so. And all I'm going to do is just add a little greens to the side of this. And guess what? Oysters po' boy are done. Yes. Our jerk fried oyster po' boy. Yes, it's going to be delicious. So, folks, got any questions? Hit me up. I am Chef Irie on IG, Chef Irie Spice on Facebook, Chef Irie website. Yes. And remember, get your copy, Tasty Islands, Amazon. Yeah? Chef Irie, I'm out.